Heather. I'm glad to hear that you did some New Year planning. As you know, it's a very favorite time of year for me. I shouldn't say favorite. I do really love summer, you know that. But as far as holidays go, it is my favorite. I just love, I don't know, I love the change of the opportunity to start over, the change of the year to something new. I find a lot of magic in that, unlike other people who are like, it's just a day. Like, to me, it's like that post-holiday, hustle and bustle, and now there's some time to slow down. And yes, everything is cold, which is not my favorite, but there is sort of just a general, like, it's sort of like the holiday season, and but not the busy part. And so everything can just be I don't know, contemplative and kind of taken at whatever pace you want to take it. And that for me is a pace of just reflection and contemplation. That is for me done also in this like batch of a week of 7 days, because I am not historically great at doing that throughout the year. So for me, it's like run, and then like stop and just kind of go inward for a while. So I love that it lines up with winter and all the hibernation and preparation for spring. I just think it's a great time of year for it. So yeah, every year for me is a little bit different, but it's always pretty intense. This year there's always reviewing the previous year's doc. So I will go through, it's like one document, but it's like a bunch of things in one Word doc. So I go through and I read everything from 2019, which I hopefully end of this year I have gone through and reread, throughout the year. So I remember what it is that I wanted to do. I'm so great at making plans, but like going back and reading them is another story. So, anyway, I read over 2019 and looked at like what was accomplished and where did I fail and what do I want to incorporate into my 2020 plans. So it's sort of basically every year it's, what did I do and what do I want to keep doing and what do I want to do differently. So this year it was reading that and then writing a reflection on the year, like from my perspective. So like what happened, like the circumstances, and kind of my thoughts about all of those circumstances. And then just kind of like writing a letter to myself about what happened. And I do that, that is something that I've done every year. So like kind of going back over my journals and my calendar and saying like, oh yeah, we went to California and did all these things, whatever. And then this year I incorporated, writing down like what were the recurring problems and complaints and things that like all year I've been complaining about this, or all year this has been a problem. And there were I think like 6 or 7 big things from this year that I was like, I just need to like decide about this, or whatever it is, and kind of wrote about those 7 things. And then my plan was to incorporate those things, like how are we going to resolve this in 2020, because I'm not going to keep carrying all this stuff for another year. So that was a super helpful way for me to think about my next year. Anyway, I write a letter for the end of the year. So I write it in it's like a prophetic letter. So it's end of 2020. And I pretend that I'm done with 2020 and I write a letter about everything that I've done. And I did do that in first person. I update what I now refer to as my identity plan, which is just values and what I care about and who I am and what I want. And then I write my plan to resolve. So this year it's like a plan to resolve this last year's problems, all those complaints and all those things. And also this year I have learned the power this year of small habits and small goals. So instead of having all of these big things I'm going to do, I really just kind of tried to boil things down to 12 new habits that I want to introduce. So there's one per month. So this month is 8 glasses of water a day, and that is my big focus. I'm not trying to like do that and yoga and meditate and exercise and all the things. It's just worried about water right now. So that's a really, really fast flyover of what I did, and I'm way over our 4-minute time limit. So anyway, thanks for asking, and I will talk to you next week.